ease your mind while we laugh and play. Here comes DJ Boo, Shaheem, and our Debbie. Yes, we're on our way to brighten up your day. Here we go.
Here we go, here we go.
From the shore to
Here we go, here we go. From the shore to B-Boy Show.
Here we go.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Be more. Asbury Park, New York. You know we got y'all. Here we go, here we go, here we go, y'all. Here we go, here we go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of From the Shore to Be More. I am one of the hosts. I am the one, the only Shaheem, everybody. Thank you very much.
I too am a host. I am Deborah Singletary, also known as Aunt Debbie.
Yes, she is. Usually we're here with our partner in crime, DJ Boom. I think he'll be joining us shortly, everybody. And of course, you all know we are the treacherous three of the tri-state area and the DMV. You heard? And welcome back, everybody, for another great topic. And we do have a great topic for you guys today. How to deal with challenging people, everybody. That's our topic today, ladies and gentlemen. Right on, Debbie?
Oh, this preparation for this show was one of the most enlightening for me ever.
Yes.
I learned so much.
As did I. I'm sure you did, probably like I did, and did a little research on this topic, and I'm sure we'll add our own experiences into this topic. But how to deal with challenging people. That's something I think we probably all run into eventually in our lives.
My
right?
contribution starts with my inner life. Like, I don't go research. I go, what is up for me? And then sometimes I will use research to support, what I'm feeling or thinking.
Right. A lot of our conversations, everybody, involve our own experiences in these topics, and this is the perfect place for adult conversations from the show to be more, everybody. So welcome, everybody.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so I want to remind everybody also about last week's conversation. Don't fear mistakes. There are none. And I want to shout out the great Miles Davis. That was one of his quotes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Aunt Debbie, for that one. Aunt Debbie comes up with most of these. I'm just going to be honest, everybody. I'll give her the credit. She comes up with a lot of these. But that was last week's topic.
Some of them I come up with.
A good many of them. I'm not ashamed to say it. But yeah, that was the topic last week, and it was another great conversation. So again, if you missed it, you can go back. Catch it on our YouTube channel, everybody. Tell a friend. Let's get these numbers up. We want to see this thing grow, right, guys?
We want to reach more and more people because this is our service. This is our mission. And
I believe so.
Serve you.
I believe so. And that being said, I want to acknowledge that it's not just on Debbie, Boom, and myself. When we say us, we also mean my partner in crime, my son Junior, who's sitting. Yeah, you're right. Give me some around applause. Sitting here, and he is our engineer extraordinaire. Right on, Debbie.
I love knowing that he's there. It gives me a sense of security.
Well, I'm happy that he does, and I know he's happy to hear that he does, and I am glad he's here because he takes a big weight off of my shoulder, and I want to let everyone know that he also has his own thing going on, everyone. So if you're interested in anime or gaming, you can reach my son at Otaku Everything, everyone, and that's at Anime Cannibal, and that's on YouTube, everyone. So if you want to talk about those things, you can definitely reach out to him. I'm sure he'll be glad to hear from you. Right, son?
Right.
That's right. And thanks for helping me out. I really appreciate it. I just heard from Boom Boom, said he'll be joining us shortly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we can't wait. We can't all wait for him to join the conversation. Before we get rolling, just a couple of things to touch on, and we will get rolling into this topic. I want to first congratulate the San Antonio Spurs, everyone, for winning the Western Conference NBA Championship last night, everybody. It was an amazing game. Did you happen to catch it on, Debbie?
Well, I thought it was very unfair that they had the nuns come out and pray for them. I thought it was not fair.
It gives them a bit of an edge, is what you're saying, huh?
Good. Good. So I hope the Knicks get some Orisha priests and Akan priests and priestesses.
Right.
When they get ready to do their thing, I hope they put their stank on it some kind of way. Like
that's right. That's right. So all you Knicks fans out there, they got nuns. We're gonna be saying our prayers. We gotta be saying our prayers, everybody, to combat some of that. To combat some of that.
Holy libation, lighting candles. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Whatever we do, let's do it.
Listen up, Knicks fans. Let's get it together. Yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations to them. It really was a great game. They defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder, everyone. I know most of you caught the game. I want to shout out my sister Angela and her husband Charles, who were in Jersey yesterday and happened to sit and catch a lot of the game with me and my wife. We just love spending time with family, especially those two. And so we had a great time last night watching the game. She, like I, had a feeling that the Spurs were going to win, and they did. Shout out to my family and to the San Antonio Spurs. That's what I want to say, everybody. Also, real quick, and trust me, we're going to get this ball rolling, but this was funny last week, and I want to have a little fun. Can I have a little fun on, Debbie? Do you mind?
Oh, baby, your show.
It's our show, but I do want to have a little fun. Now, Boom made these characters of us, everybody, out of Angry Birds. A little funny joke between us. He put his up last week. I'm sure you saw it. This was his, everybody. Okay, funny, haha, jokes. But first, he put ours up, and we thought it wasn't cute that he didn't put his, so he put his. But here's ours. I'm going to start with it. Here's mine. This was me, everybody. I don't know.
You don't get angry at all. So cute.
I don't know about that, but I like the fact that it looks young. I will take that. How about that? And this was our beautiful Aunt Debbie, ladies and gentlemen, and I just want to give her a round of applause.
So cute.
Yeah.
I like the hair.
Well, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you notice, even as an Angry Bird, she had some sass with her. Even as an Angry Bird, so I just want to point that out, everybody. And big shout out to DJ Boom. He's not with us now, but I did want to shout him out because he had an online show, everyone, on Memorial Day. He was online at a radio station, WEAA, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to give him a big shout out because I was tuning in, and I hope most of you were on Memorial Day, and he did a great job. So I just wanted to shout him out. He'll be here shortly, and he could get his own flowers, everybody. How about that? Well, while we're waiting for him, we're just gonna keep this thing doing what it do, and we're gonna what, Junior? We're gonna Wait, first, before I do that, though, because I always forget this, and this is very important. Women on Debbie. Donations. Your support is greatly needed to keep the lights on here, ladies and gentlemen. So please support the show, everyone, and send in your donations. And then... Go ahead, Jim, you got it. Go ahead.
Help support your favorite podcast, From the Shore to Be More, by donating to the show. You can send donations to the links below, or if you're a business, you can call us directly at 732-455-2503. We would like to thank the entire From the Shore to Be More family for all your help, and don't forget to tell a friend.
That's right, gentlemen. Let's keep these lights on real quick, everyone. And then I'm going to keep it all rolling. Just not for nothing. But we almost didn't even have a show today, ladies and gentlemen. We had major technical difficulties. Minutes before did we not?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I'm hoping that nothing happens during this show, everyone. Everything's holding up. Stay tuned. Hopefully everything goes right. Right, guys?
Right.
All right, that being said, let's keep the ball rolling. That's right. Happy birthday to all of you Geminis having a birthday today. In the past week or the upcoming week. We want to celebrate that with you. Right, guys?
Yeah.
That's right. Are Geminis challenging folk? That's a good question, too.
Well, they always got something to say. How about that? There's always something they can add to the argument. So or the dialogue. So,
right.
They know a lot about a lot. And so sometimes you can't get a word in edgewise because they're talking.
That's right. That's right, everybody. So, yeah, it can be challenging.
I have a moon in Gemini. My sun sign is in Gemini, but my moon is in Gemini. And that's where I get my from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a little bit of insight into on Debbie, everybody. How about that?
Yes.
Thank you, Universal Beauty, for checking in. And yeah, happy birthday to all the Geminis.
Hey, Nisi.
Yeah, I see all the comments coming, June. You're going to have to help me with them. I see other ones. Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for watching, by the way. So birthdays.
Go for you, so stay tuned.
Ooh, niggas going, yeah, all right, anyway, but birthdays, all right, Debbie, you got anybody you want to shout out?
I do. I want to acknowledge 2 elder artists who've been at it for 90 and 100 years. Well, they've been at least living that long. Otto Neal
let's give that a round.
and Faith
Sure.
Rangel. Happy birthday to those Geminis who have a lot to say through their art.
Happy birthday. That was really nice. You can take it down now. That was really happy birthday to them for sure. And yeah, Universal Beauty, we're glad everything is working out right now too. Hopefully it continues. Yeah, anyway, yeah, but happy birthday, everybody. I just have a couple. Was that it, or Debbie, not to interrupt you?
Me.
Just a couple real fast. Wait, is Sam having a birthday? Okay.
My brother?
Yeah.
No, he's the opposite. He's Sag.
Sag. Oh, my bad. Okay. But I do want to shout out my cousin, Son, everyone, who owns a business, Tailor Made, everyone. And I'm sure you might have heard me mention it on the show before. He has had a birthday. His birthday, I think, was yesterday. So happy birthday to him. And that's my only personal birthday, ladies and gentlemen. I got to make more friends, I guess. But nonetheless, I do have some celebrities, if you guys don't mind, that I'd like to say happy birthday to. Can I do that, Junior? Do you mind? All right, I'll go ahead and do that then. Okay. Wait, fun fact, everybody. And I'm going to tell you why I'm putting this up. But fun fact, everybody. Did you guys know that Rebe Jackson, pictured here, and her sister Latoya Jackson, pictured here, well, they both share the same birthday, ladies and gentlemen. May 29th.
Wow.
Yes. Rebe Jackson born May 29th, 1950. Latoya was born May 29th, 1956. Ladies and gentlemen, just a fun fact for you, everybody. So happy birthday to the Jackson sisters. Also, because my Knicks are in the NBA Finals this year, I'm going to say happy birthday to a famous Knick right here. Happy birthday to Carmelo Anthony! May 29th was also his birthday, so you know I'm going to shout him out, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I had to do that. Also, since we're on New York, let's continue with New York. I want to say happy birthday to this young lady here, Remy Ma, hip hop queen, Remy Ma, everybody. May 30th, yesterday, was her birthday. Celebrate New York, everyone. Happy birthday to her. Now, one more New Yorker I'm going to shout out here. You might, ladies and gentlemen, remember this guy here.
Is there something wrong with you? Or is there something wrong with me?
Happy birthday to the one and only Al B. Sure, ladies and gentlemen. His birthday is actually coming up on June 4th, everyone. So happy birthday to him, ladies and gentlemen. Back when light-skinned people were still in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, happy birthday to all of these Geminis celebrating their birthday. We love celebrating your birthdays with you, everyone. And so, if you're having celebrations, I want to remind everybody. I see the comments coming in. I'm going to get to them in a minute. We'll get to them in a minute, Junior. If you have celebrations of any kind, especially this upcoming spring and summer, there are ways that you can include our small businesses in your celebrations, and we hope that you do that. And this is how you can do it. Hit it. Reach DJ Boom and Shush Entertainment at boomsquaddjs.com 678-334-1745 for your next big event or karaoke night. And to attend the next Silent Fitness event, be sure to reach out to Shush Entertainment, a subsidiary of D3 Lux Entertainment. Before stepping out for the night, look for the latest in women's fashion at terryscloset.com. Step into Terry's Closet and step out in style. terryscloset.com, your closet's new best friend. And reach Deborah Singletary at visioncarriers@aol.com for astrology consultations, art workshops, wedding ceremonies, and rituals. Be sure to reach out to Vision Carriers at AOL.com 212-234-1329. Happy birthday, everybody. And I'm going to say that again only because, wow, the comments are starting to flood in, and you guys are keeping Junior and us busy. So I'm going to try and run through these real quick before we move on. Let's start with Universal Beauty, Junior. The happy birthday. She wants to say happy birthday to somebody. So happy birthday, Pete. I think I know the Pete that she's talking about. Happy birthday, Pete. I didn't even know he was having a birthday. So happy birthday to him, and thanks again, Universal Beauty. Let's just go to the next one real quick, everyone. Yeah, go ahead, Junior. That's fine. Yeah, Bernice, thanks for watching. She's always chiming in and holding us down. Thank you, Bernice, for watching, supporting the show for so long. Gladys, she wants to remind us that Gladys Knight had a birthday. Patti LaBelle had a birthday. Both May Gemini. So, of course, I think I shouted out, I think Patti LaBelle, but not Gladys Knight.
Yeah, but we missed Gladys. Thank you, Nisi.
Yeah, thank you so much for your support. We can go right to the next one. Oh, yeah, that's right. I did forget. What's up, Boom? I'm just going to run through these comments real quick, Boom, and then we're going to jump in before I mess up real fast. Yeah, I know my cousin Victor, who passed away a few years ago. Happy birthday in heaven, cuz. His birthday is coming up, so happy birthday in heaven to him. Yeah, right, Boom? Woo, boy. This is long, so I don't know if I'm going to read it all, but
the
yeah,
way of texting. I don't know.
Well, thanks for watching.
Oh, Dorothy, we need to talk. Okay.
Yes, we need to talk. Come on the show. We can have the conversation.
Yeah, you got a lot to say. Yeah, we need you on the show. Secure the right to be free, to govern ourselves, to be happy, to liberate ourselves, to live in a civilized society grounded in truth and justice, to ensure our survival on earth, declare our sovereignty by word, by hand, by right.
Wow.
Who is the representative of the Creator on earth.
Wow.
Asheo.
Thank you so much. And thanks for watching the show and supporting the show. Continue to watch, everybody. Wow, it's a lot of comments going on. I'm trying to do we are, right, Junior? We're trying to do our best.
I can get to them later.
Yeah, well, let's do that. We'll try to move on, everybody. So, DJ Boom, what's up, Boom?
What's up, everybody? Yours truly, DJ Boom, here in the building, making it do what it do. Finally on this Sunday, along with these two. I made it. I'm always running.
Man. We know you're a busy man.
Hope y'all got my message. I said I was running behind, but I'm coming. I said I'm coming.
Yeah, I did. So thanks for joining the show. We did birthdays. Any birthdays real quick you want to shout out, and then I'm going to move on?
No, not that I could think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's somebody, and you've already mentioned the cousin, so nope, not right off the top of my head. We can go ahead and keep this ball
rolling. I like that. Hit it, Junior.
You know, I guess right now we should start the show.
CTV movies. That's right. One of my favorite things to do on the show because I want to know what you guys are watching. And everybody, please comment on the show. Not just during our fun time, but especially when we get into the topic. Comment on the show. All right, everybody. Let's talk about it. What you been watching on, Debbie?
I saw The Memoirs of a Snail. It's described as a dark stop motion animated film. And I pay a little more attention to animated films because of Ty, our engineer. So I go, oh, and it's R-rated actually, so it's not for children. But it's about a couple of misfits and how they navigate themes of loneliness, depression, and then resilience. And I actually had a tear. You know, it's interesting how animation can move one. I recommend it. It's on Hulu. Well, I recommend it if you got a little weird head like I do. It was really lovely.
All right. Thank you, Debbie. We appreciate that. And yeah, I put the comments up so you guys can read them. They're just coming in so many right now. We'll try to get to them. We'll read as many as we can. But thank you for everybody commenting on the show. Thank you on Debbie for that. And if you're sitting around on this beautiful day, everyone, whether you're sitting at home in your sunroom or whatever, turning the TV on, these are some things that you can check out. Boom, what you been watching?
I did watch the GOAT movie that you was telling me that you spoke about.
Yeah, go ahead.
I definitely did watch that. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. I did. I enjoyed it. I'm into animated movies like Debbie said. I'm this age, so I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
You're a nerd.
We're nerds. We're all nerds.
Absolutely. What's the movie about
the best kind of nerds
in the woods? I seen that movie. I can't think of the name of the robot. I think it's called iRobot. But yeah, I watch all of those little animated movies, and I did enjoy the GOAT.
You did. What did you think of it, Junior?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, and Junior approves too. I watched it. I thought it was pretty cool too, everybody. So if you sitting around today, that's another one to check out. Thank you, Boom. Appreciate that. I think we saw that on Hulu, right? Was it Hulu? Or Disney?
Netflix.
Netflix, all right.
Netflix, yeah.
Two real quick for me, everybody. I'm going to push it on. One that's right in theaters. I'm sure you already know. The Michael movie. I finally got a chance to see the Michael Jackson movie, everybody. And I got to tell you, my wife and I, we thoroughly enjoyed it. Junior, did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, being my age, I know the story. And so for me, it was like walking down that same timeline. I'm remembering where I was in those moments. But what I was most impressed by with the movie was the performance by his nephew, Jafar Jackson, everyone. Wow. I mean, stellar performance for him. And I've seen a lot of Michael movies. So I just wanted to point that out. If you're not doing anything today, run out to the theaters. Check the Michael Jackson movie
out. Well, he did the best job from what I'm understanding. But, I encourage folks to go see it. Like I said before, I'm not going to go see it, but if it comes out on Netflix or something, I may watch it one day, but
definitely
I'm not going to go see it.
Definitely.
Why you mad?
Because what else is there to learn? I've seen the performances of it's nice his nephew did it. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, his nephew mimicked him. Oh, nice. You know what I mean? But I know it all. I know the songs I know the stories, the documentaries, blah, blah, blah. I know it all.
Yeah. Yeah, now I felt the same way.
I'm not going to gain anything from it except being able to say I saw his nephew perform.
His performance.
Other than that.
Yeah, and I felt the same way. And I'm not going to stay too long, but like I said, as I watched it, first of all, the songs always have the same energy. You can hear this.
Absolutely.
You can hear one of his songs 100 years from now. It's going to have the same energy. But when I'm watching the movie, I'm also reliving my own life in those moments. And for me, that was a beautiful experience. And so, yeah, I would encourage people to go check it out. One last one for me, everybody, and then I'm going to keep this thing going real fast. I don't know if people have been checking out Hulu, but this new series, The Deli Boys.
Oh, I thought about that.
Yeah, I got hooked. I watched the first episode, keeping my mind open. I didn't know what to expect once I started watching it, but I got hooked, and now I'm rolling through the episodes. Yeah. So, if you get a chance, check it out. Come back next week. We'll talk about it then, all right? But I liked it. You tell me what you thought. I see the comments keep rolling in, everybody. I'll try to get to them. But yeah, that was mine, everybody. And so, if you have movies that you like, send us to them. And also, if you have ideas for show topics that you think our beautiful audience would like, or if you're a business looking to support our growing program here, as you can see, fast-growing program here, there's a way that you can get in contact with us, and this is how you can do that. Hit it, Junior. To contact us, you can reach us on our YouTube channel, where you can comment, join the show, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can also watch, like, and comment, join the show on our social media pages. Our Facebook or Instagram is at From the Shore to Be More. Our Twitter or X is at 2_Be More. And our email is fromtheshore@gmail.com. You can also call the show at 732-455-2503. If no one answers, please leave a message and someone from the show will get back to you. And please, tell a friend. That's right, everybody. Tell a friend. Let's get these numbers up. Let's keep this thing rolling, everybody, right? Yes, good. Thank you, Julie. My partner in crime over here helping his dad out. I appreciate that. All right, everybody. That moment you all have been waiting for. And we've been waiting for it too, because we think that this is an awesome topic, an awesome conversation to have. How to deal with challenging people. A little backstory. We started off with how to deal with difficult people, and we changed it to challenging everyone. I guess we didn't want to step on any toes. But here's the thing. Go ahead on, Debbie, because I know you.
I'd like to come in here. Thank you.
Yes.
When I first thought of the title, I was thinking of other people who were difficult and challenging. And somewhere over the course of time, I realized that I could very well be one of those challenging.
Yes. I'm glad you said that. Yes.
What do you mean you're glad I said that?
Not that way. We'll talk about it.
Realizing that really put a huge spin on it for me. And one of the things that I noticed was that calling people challenging or difficult is a judgment. And it got me to think about why we make judgments in the first place. And I think we make judgments because of, we're trying to regulate our own emotions, and We're trying to, settle things and make them handable for us. And so we go difficult or easy, judgment. And now I don't have to look within, and I don't have to do work. And so I want to just acknowledge that before you are three challenging people.
You ain't never lied either.
I was most certainly going to say I know I'm a challenging person because I ain't playing no games with nobody. But I don't know if I always want to label stuff as a judgment. Because if we begin to do that, then everything is judgment, all the way down to the type of water you drink. If I say, "Oh, I don't drink Pure Life, I drink Deer Park," now I'm judging that you drink Deer Park and da da da. You know, it becomes a little bit tedious when we call it a judgment. Like I can't say that they're being difficult right now. You know, I can't say that they're being too much right now. I can't say it because now I'm judging them. Not necessarily judging them. It's just what's happening at the time. You know what I mean? And if it is, and that's what it is. It's a judgment, and I'm judging you, and you judge me. I judge you. You judge them. He judge she, and you know.
Okay, here's one of those moments. So. I am not suggesting that we don't judge. Of course, we have to judge. If we're crossing a street, we have to judge if the car is going to get too close too quickly and hit us. It's not about not judging, but judging closes the door. And it makes us think we know the person when really we don't understand what their motivations. We may not understand what their motivations are, what their stories are, and what's going on for them. So I'm only addressing the part of judgment, which is a closed door. And that also closes the door to our own internal discomfort with people who we deem to be.
Yeah, I like some of the things that both you guys are saying. First on Debbie pointing out the fact that yes, sometimes we ourselves can be the challenger person. Boom, you pointing out labels. I want to be careful about labels. The labels of someone being difficult, and I'm glad we did change that title from difficult because labels can be harmful. Like for instance, for the longest time, Black women who stood up for themselves were labeled as difficult. Black people in general, because for us older people, we might remember the term uppity niggas. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, just to point out the fact, as a way to harm us. So I want to be careful about labels and titles and things like that.
Entitled people who feel they're entitled.
That's we're gonna get into a whole different discussion. Yeah, but you're right.
Aspect could be an aspect of somebody being challenging,
being a challenging person.
But I think we want to go into what makes a person challenging.
What makes a person challenging?
Right. And sometimes challenging people like me, for example, are high voltage people. Like I have a lot of fire and air in my chart, which is like, you know, what air does to fire. And so because I'm passionate and God didn't give me a nice, sweet little voice. So my very way of talking is going to be intentful and intense. And sometimes that makes people uncomfortable.
Right.
Is it always me? Is it their discomfort? So, but also challenging people can also be people who withdraw in the face of controversy. Me, I might speak up and fight. Other people just shut up and they go with it and they say nothing. Right. And 10 years later, you learn that the reason they're not speaking to you is, or you can't seem to get through to them.
Right. So, someone who speaks up for themselves might be considered by other people to be a challenging person, but all they're simply doing is protecting their own. I want to say peace and peace of mind by questioning things or challenging things. They're not trying to be difficult per se, but they also want to protect their own peace and interest and things like that. That's not a person that's necessarily being difficult. You would expect that from a person, I would imagine. Now, how do you work with it, right? I think some of the things that make a person a challenging person. Let me start with me. For instance, I believe in the past, probably not as much now, and my co-host might disagree, but in the past, for me, being a quote unquote challenging person, for me meant control. If I was disagreeable, or is that the right word? Most of the time, challenging things most of the times, it gave me, I want to say, a false sense of control, or maybe a sense of control in whatever situation was, whether it be an argument or whatever it was. If I'm being difficult, I'm in control in a sense, because now I'm forcing the other person in a way to feed off of my energy. You know what I mean? So in some ways, I'm in control. You know, of course, maturity, some growth, some help from Debbie, and I've learned to not only see what was going on, but slowly work to correcting that problem. Now, what that enabled me to do was to become not just a more agreeable person, but a person that maybe could see things from the other side. And that's not a bad thing. Now, being a challenging person, okay, I get that part. But what are we doing to work toward being a better person? I think is the question, right?
So I get that all the time, obviously. Being a DJ, being out, hosting karaoke events, people will come and sing the same song they've been singing for the last 10 years. And I will always make a comment. I have recently stopped doing that because it's not my job to try to enhance anybody, to try to change anybody, or none of that. So I have started self-reflecting in that way. Yesterday, I was speaking to one of my friends, and she broke up with her boyfriend. And she said the reason why. She said, you know, she's never gone through this man's phone, ever, never, ever. But for some reason, the phone was open. She picked it up, and she saw some comments between him and his quote-unquote best friend, or one of his female friends. And the comments was pretty, you know, you just don't do that. You know, well, before she went in depth with it, she told me the surface. And I gave her a scenario of when that happened to me. I have a friend that sent me a message just telling me how much she appreciates me. Seriously. And she told me she loved me. She always will. Well, someone saw that and they're like, oh, you cheating and you did it. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of women that speak in the honey, babe, da-da-da-da-da sort of tone, and they speak it to everybody. It's not to me in particular. You know what I mean? They speak it to everybody. But when she saw that, she goes into this tirade, my person goes into this tirade because this girl, you got girls sending you messages, da-da-da-da. So what I was offering my friend yesterday was to try to think of it on a different perspective. But then she went into depth of more pictures was sent and da-da-da-da. That's something different. But when she told me the surface, I was like, sometimes it's not what you think that it is because you saw it. Because you saw somebody say, I love you, you know, doesn't mean they're talking about, I can't wait for us to be together. We're going to run off, you know, and be together, sort of love. They love you. You know what I mean? I'm their friend. I've been their friend for 20 years before I even met you. And now you mad because this friend is telling me they love me, or they said babe, or they said hun, or they said honey, or whatever. Like, think about that. Think outside the box. So I was just trying to give her perspective, but that's actually challenging her thoughts and how she felt, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I try to help people go outside the box.
Exactly. I don't think we're saying that it's bad to be a challenging person.
Right.
You know, you challenge the status quo. So I think that's why I think sort of defining what we mean is somewhat helpful. But so what we're really, I think what Boom is describing, challenge a person to think differently. If he's challenging me to think differently, and he better not, and I respond, you know, vehemently, then it's not his problem that he challenged me. what's going on is my sensitivity and vulnerability can't handle it. So, one of the things to do when confronted, like if Boom confronted me and came at me really hard, what I might want to do is say, whoa, wait, Boom, I just needed to express myself. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling angry. I really wanted to express myself. But can you give me a minute to collect myself? And I really would like to hear from you a different perspective. But first, I really did need to get it off my chest.
Okay. All right. I can definitely relate to that.
It's the responsibility, not just of the challenging person to change. It's also the responsibility of the people who can't handle the volume or the energy to speak up and say, look, when you speak in that tone of voice, it's overwhelming to me. I need a minute. But don't just look at me saying, oh, she always, because you haven't taken the responsibility to do your own inner work and say, Deborah, I really, as my sisters recently said to me, I really respect your point of view. I don't need you to yell at me. So it's a two-way street. So we're not saying challenging people are necessarily challenging, at least not in a way that is negative.
Well, there's a way to challenge things without being aggressive. Now, of course, there's a way to challenge things and be aggressive, but there's a way. Well, I think body language is important. For instance, the message you're sending to the person that might be a challenge or whatever. For instance, folded arms can be seen as a type of what aggression almost. I think, or something like that. I'm just saying, body language is when you challenge someone or something like that. Right, defensive. Thank you.
My arms are not folded. Trust me. If I'm challenging you, I maybe might have my finger in your
maybe your finger. Okay.
The arms folded is often a defense and a silent way or a passive way of being aggressive. So people who have high voltage energy are often accused of being aggressive. And sometimes aggressive people are people who just clam up. They don't say anything. They're actually, so the high voltage person has the space and they keep going and going and going because the other person isn't saying anything. So folded arms can be a form of aggression and defense in response to something coming to them that they're uncomfortable with, although I acknowledge sometimes high voltage people
can be intimidating. I just want to real quick just read through a few of these comments because I don't want to leave anybody apart for the show. Just a few of them, then I'm going to jump right back into this real quick. Junior, you can help me out. I'm going to just start. First of all, thanks again, Bernice. Bernice had a suggestion for TV, everyone. The documentary on W.E.B. Du Bois. I think I saw that on PBS. I saw the advertisement.
How does that fit this topic?
I know. I just wanted to hit these up real fast on Debbie. I'm just going to get right back to it. Just real fast. I just don't want to leave anybody out of the show. I know because there's a lot of them. Thanks, baby. That is good. Yeah, that is good. Everybody. All right, just real quick. Never mind on Debbie. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't leaving anybody else in case somebody had something to say important. All right, but back to it. I think it's important when you're being challenged by someone. Thank you, Junior. First of all, don't take the bait. don't take the bait because they might be trying to get a response out of you. First of all, right? I mean, honestly,
I almost never think so. Somebody, right? And I confess to being one of those high voltage people who some consider intimidating, but never am I trying to date somebody. Never, ever, ever. What it is I'm Never. What it is I'm confident in my point of view. What it is I've researched it. I've thought about it. And I'm excited by it and enthused by it. So when I present myself, it is not to bait you. It is to go, oh my God, you know what? Look at it this way. I'm excited. It is up to you.
Okay.
That you or the other person to go, whoa, whew, you know, that's a bit much. Or I can see you've thought about this a lot. I haven't. Let me catch up.
Okay.
Ask you some questions, but Shaheem, I, you know, is that what you do when you're challenging people? Are you debate? Are you?
I'm gonna say this.
Oh
I believe that there are people out there who do challenge you and try and debate you into something. That might not be you, on Debbie, and that's great. But I do believe that those people are out there.
What would you do with that person then? So
now that is the question, right? Because they're trying to take some energy from you if they're trying to bait you into something, right? So your response is important, right? Your response is really important. I think responding and reacting could be two different things. Because if I'm reacting to what you're doing, and obviously I'm feeding off your energy, you got the best of me then, right? In some ways, okay? You got the best of me. But now I have to think about how I'm going to respond to it. Now, if I'm being challenged years ago, I probably would respond different to someone. But these days, I like the process, and I think you might even brought this up. What is this person going through? What's happening right now? What's this really about? You know, because sometimes there could be some kind of underlying thing going on. You know what I mean? And so processing is important to me. Now, if I feel that I'm really being challenged, then I'm gonna come back at you. But if I sense there might be something else going on, I might try to figure what's happening in that moment. You know what I mean? But I do think there are people out there who challenge you, even if it's a coworker, to get a response out of it. What do you think, Boom?
Now, the 52-year-old me is going to respond very differently from the 22-year-old me.
Of course, right.
With doing that.
Right.
Now, I'm going to let you know, listen, especially if it's on the phone. I recently went through that. This young lady wants to challenge me on some stupid topic. And I said, listen, I'm going to go ahead and hang up the phone now because I don't want to talk about this. I'm not arguing with nobody. And she started going back and forth. I said, listen, I want you to hear that I'm telling you I'm hanging up the phone. I'm not doing this. She starts talking again. I hung up the phone. She called me 17 times. Back to back.
Trying to bait you.
Right.
Right.
She actually sent me a text and was like, you could, so you're not going to answer. No, she said, you can give me 5 minutes. I said, and I text back and said, I cannot. I cannot.
Right.
You know, you're not going to, as you said, but 22-year-old me probably would have went to her house. Like, what type retarded shit you on? Like, what are you doing, shorty? You know what I mean? Because I was irrational at 22 years old. I could be perfectly honest about that. I was a little bit more Incredible Hulk and less David Banner. Now I'm more David Banner and less Incredible Hulk. So yeah, but she was trying. She was trying to get that. Like what? And I said to her, why do you want to argue? I don't understand why people want to argue. And then it's not over what kind of business are we going to start or what house are we going to buy together or if we're not arguing about that type of stuff, I don't want to argue with you. I'm straight on that. And I've said that before on the podcast, but yeah. So yeah, no, absolutely.
I believe you're 100% right. She was trying to bait you. And what's up, Nookie? Thanks for watching the show. Communication is key, and we talked about that. I think body language was a thing. Is a thing too. And what's Nookie? I wish you would have chimed in a little while ago. We'll have to speak behind the scenes one day. But
no. So let me address this real quick because it's not about ignoring somebody. It's understanding people trying to bait you in nonsense. So I didn't ignore her. We were talking on the phone. And what I told her was, okay, all right, this is going too far. I'm about to hang up because I'm not arguing. First of all, it's a Friday night. I'm out enjoying myself. You should be out enjoying yourself. Why are we arguing about? Why do you want to argue about this thing right here? Why do you want to do this now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So her level of communication was she wants it right here, right now, and I don't care what's going on. Not me. You're not beat me
Control,
like that.
control. I said
Exactly.
that.
Maybe, if she was hurting, she may have wanted to have been heard. And I hear nothing wrong in what Boom did, by the way. So this is, for me, not trying to correct that. But sometimes people are at it because they don't feel heard, and they may have a history of not being heard. And once again, they're not being heard, and God damn it, I'm going to make myself heard. It could be an opportunity to say, my God, you're really charged about this. I can see this is really hurtful. And I'm not suggesting you do that. That might be more my style, or I wish it would be. I wish I would do that more. But to understand, it's not that it may not be that she's trying to control. She may be in that much pain, because if someone is doing that, they may not be trying to bait you. And Shyheim, I hear you staying with that bait thing, because did you read it somewhere and you think it sounds smart and you're going to stay with that? I don't think we're talking about aberrations or crazy people who are challenging. I think we're wanting to address real life situations where people might be challenging, and that's why when you said, do I bait, and I said no, when you said never, I'm like, no. never. That's you. So to me, that's Shyheim telling us about Shyheim. But sometimes people are in pain, and when they are in pain, they could raise their voice, and they could be behave in a way that seems like an asshole or belligerent.
Okay.
But sometimes
in that moment, it takes one of the people to maintain control of what's happening. Like I said, it was a Friday night. I was actually out already. I really was out already. And when she called me initially, I could hear music in her background. So she's out too. Why are we talking about something that we discussed a year ago now? And I said to her, can we revisit this tomorrow? Like, we got to talk about it right now. I don't want to do that right now. We're having fun. I don't even want to mess my energy up, being with that. You know what I mean? Because what happens is you'll go into somewhere and then you tell people like, what's wrong? Man, I was just on the phone with this girl and she did it. You know what I mean? Now I'm giving that energy to those people.
That energy, right.
Let's talk about it tomorrow. But no, you want it right here, right now.
Right.
You don't have to play that game. Good for you, Boom.
Right. But again,
sounds like you handled it well. I'm leaving.
And guess what? Tomorrow, she and I are going to meet up and have that conversation.
But in that moment, cuz
I want to be there. Where?
In that moment, cuz you were able to gain control. Right. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Did you feel like she was trying to bait you?
I did, absolutely. Because you wasn't letting it go. And I'm saying what I'm saying. It's not like I'm not saying anything. Like, yo, can we talk about this another day? What is going on?
And it's not to say that all people who are standing up for themselves are trying to bait you. That's not the point I'm trying to make on Debbie. I'm just saying that those people are out there. They are out there. Now, I also believe that we can identify these people and learn to deal with them. I think as we
talking about. So you're calling it baiting. Right. I might call it unconscious, right? She's unconscious of just how angry she is, so she's not stopping. Okay. I think the way Boom dealt with it is admirable, and I can't see what he should have done differently. It seems fine with me. But I also want to, make sure we give some attention to the people who aren't yelling, but who are withdrawing. They're not saying anything. And sometimes people who don't yell, they're like, I'm superior because I'm not yelling. You're yelling. You're bad. But me, I'm quiet. And they go... right? And so I don't think that challenging people are always the loudest. I think people who would withhold and withdraw into their silence, it's a powerful way of leaving the other person feeling confused, or make them keep going, adding to their suffering. So we want to balance this, that challenging people aren't just the loud ones. Sometimes they are the withholding ones.
Right. Well said. I think we can agree on, Debbie.
You had better, because
Listen,
I know your neighborhood anyway.
I want to say this.
One day and saw this guy. He was on the phone. You see he's on the phone, and he's in his car, right? And I remember that being 22-year-old me, 32-year-old me. You know what I mean? You in the car. No. You know what I mean? You going off in the car and you on the phone. I'm not. You're not going to get that out of me ever again.
So, Bernice, who I call Nisi, says that she withdraws because she hates confrontation.
Oh, that's good.
And what I want to explore is, if I am passionate, am I confronting you? Not necessarily. I'm just doing how I do. And sometimes if someone isn't as old as I am, as familiar with the topic as I am, and by the way, because I'm familiar with it, I understand that doesn't make me right all the time. Okay. I know that. But it may not be, I just confronted Shaheen largely because I knew he could take it. Like I can say to Shaheen, hey, Shaheen, you talk that baiting thing, I know it's not going to get terribly ugly. One, because I'm his aunt. And that's why I come on as Aunt Debbie.
Can I piggyback on that a little bit? I think our experiences together, we've learned from each other on how to deal with challenging conversations. I think people see it on this broadcast. So I think maturity, learning helps you identify when someone's being challenging, and then deal with it better, for their sake and your sake.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if you're a person who is not as high voltage and expressive as somebody like me or Boom, or especially Shaheen, you want to own that and not make it about them. And you might even want to be vulnerable and say, this is hard for me. This is hard for me because I grew up in a household where I wasn't allowed to speak. And I need some room here. I need a minute here. I need to collect my thoughts. Can we visit? Now, this is not Boom saying, can we visit this tomorrow? This is the quieter person saying, I'd like to think about this. Can we visit this, later or tomorrow? And so that the bad guy isn't the energetic guy. We're human beings too. So your being withdrawing or quiet isn't better than me booming. Oh, that's not my name, but than my strong, assertive way. And I came by my assertion from being beaten and belittled, you know what I mean? So I've learned to do this because of my own background. And if you haven't, that is also, I'd love to be sensitive to it. But you also have an opportunity to understand your own communicating style and ask for what you need.
Right. Beautiful. Well said, Debbie. All right. Wow. I got to admit, the time went fast. This was a great, but we all
Yeah.
No,
but
we all knew this was going to be a passionate conversation and a great topic. That's why we chose this one, everybody. But yeah, I see the time ticking away, everybody. And before we start breaking everything down and get into our final words, I just want to first thank everybody, all the comments, everybody for supporting the show and watching the show today. We greatly appreciate your contributions, right, guys?
Oh, for real.
Absolutely.
So good to have
100%.
those
Right, Junior?
roll in, even when we couldn't answer them all.
Absolutely, everybody. So thank you for watching today and supporting the show, and continue to watch and support the show. Tell a friend, everybody. We want to keep this thing rolling like we always say, right? Right, guys?
Yes, yes, yes.
Always.
All right. We hoping. Go ahead, Boom. I'm sorry.
I just said always.
Always. That's right. We hope you all enjoyed today's conversation, but we got to start breaking it down so we can let you go and we can get to our Sundays. So, last words on Debbie. Any last words on today's topic?
I'd like to offer that intense people often don't realize how intense they're being. And the person who's not jiving with it might be of service by saying, I'd really love to connect and communicate with you. But when you are this intense, it's difficult for me. Can we lower the temperature so that we can really collaborate? Often, that intense person is a sensitive person themselves. Don't assume that they are Superman because of their intensity. They're often sensitive and vulnerable as well, and might really appreciate your feedback.
That's it. Thank you. Wise words, everybody. Pay attention. All right, Boom. Any last words for our audience today?
At the end of the day, the only person you can control in the argument is you. So
pretty much. Beautiful.
You're going to get out of it what you put into it.
I like that for sure. Thank you, Boo. And I just want to say to Bernice, wow, yeah, we appreciate that you enjoy the show so much that you want to see it go a little longer. I don't know, we'll have to talk about it, but thanks for supporting the show anyway. And my last words, I just want to say to everybody that we can be strong without being harsh, and we can be kind without being pushovers, everybody. There's challenging people, you're going to see them every day. How you deal with it, like Boom said, matters the most. How about that, everybody? And that's my final. All right, I'm glad you like it on Debbie. All right, everybody, I want to say thank you for watching the show today, everybody. We hope you all come back next week to see our next show. So, goodbye, everybody. Before I go, I want to say this, though. Boom has got his own thing going on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. Boom, you want to tell everybody real quick and then we'll get out of here?
Oh, yeah, it's called the Old School Love Vibes with DJ Boom on TikTok. Now, I am working on multiple streams so I can get folks on YouTube, and because if I stream it to Facebook, they're going to just cut it off. So I'm working on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok at this point. And hopefully I will have it by this coming Tuesday. But it is every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 12. Old School Love Vibes. I'm telling you, y'all will enjoy it. I'll be following it. I can't wait. It's so funny. I get to these shows come on.
There you go. So check them out Tuesday and Thursdays, everybody. And keep checking us out every Sunday. Goodbye, everybody. We will see you all next week for another episode of From the Shore to Be More. Goodbye, everybody.
And NYC in between. Let's go.
At you, and the world's all right with me.